Salutations! I'm Becca, and this is the second time I'm filming this video. No joke, I was just sitting at my computer editing this video I filmed a few hours ago, and I just couldn't stand it. My tone was like kind of a little off-putting, and I didn't have my thoughts clear. Here I am, doing it over again. Salutations, I'm Becca, and this is Becca Hearts This. The first thing that I want to share with you guys is the Happier podcast. It's a Happier podcast done by Gretchen Rubin, the author of The Happiness Project, which was like a New York Times bestseller book. And I've never read it, but I have been intrigued to read it. I bought it from my sister. She needs to loan it to me at this point because I really want to read it. Anyways, the Happier podcast is a podcast she does with her sister, and they just talk about kind of simple, easy tasks that you can do at home to increase your happiness, along with the stumbling blocks to happiness. And it just is this way of me constantly checking in to reflect on my own life. And then this is full of things that you can just try at home that will help you work on your happiness. Because of the podcast, one of the episodes was about designing your summer, and designing your summer means exactly that. When we're adults, we don't get that break, that summer break that you do as a kid or a teenager, so the days just all run together, and yet there's something really special about the summertime. And what I liked about designing your summer was it was just about reframing your days to do something unique during the summertime. In that thought process, I really wanted to make reading a priority and to focus on reading more this summer. So my fiance and I have created this coffee and reading time in our day where after breakfast, we'll sit on the couch, we'll take our coffees from like the dining table and then go onto the couch and just have our coffees and have our books, and sometimes we'll read or sometimes we'll just chit chat with each other. But it's kind of this really great way of starting the day in just a really positive way and a really relaxing way. So my mind can be set up for just the stresses throughout the day. At least I know I've given one thing to myself in the morning, which is my reading time. During that coffee and reading time with my fiance, I actually ended up finishing this book called The Longevity Book by Cameron Diaz and her co-author Sandra Bark, which is, one of those things where like Cameron Diaz wrote it, but then Sandra Bark really wrote it. But I really appreciate it because Cameron Diaz is really frank in it, and they went and talked to a bunch of scientists about the science of aging on a cellular level. And I'm like a science nerd, and I love biology, and I love to know how things work within the body. So reading about aging and reading about how my body is going to change over the years between my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and so on and so forth, it just like better prepares you for life and what's to come next. And then in the same way, just reading the fact that in my 30s, trying to get fit and working out is gonna be way harder, it just made me go like, maybe I should get fit right now while I'm still in my 20s, and it's gonna be like a hair easier. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. But my favorite part about the book was that when it said that those who embrace aging actually age better, I thought, that just made so much sense to me, because your stress is such a, stress ruins your immune system, it, causes wrinkles. Stress is terrible. So if you're stressing about aging, of course, while your body is already basically decomposing, because that's what's happening, as your body is basically breaking down, you are just aggravating the process of aging by being stressed out about it. So this book has just really made me want to focus on stressing less and embracing aging even more. I've never really been that afraid of aging, nor had an issue with aging, but this just made me just really focus on the fact that aging is a beautiful part of life and it should be embraced at any time and moment. Speaking of old awesome people. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys was this show called Grace and Frankie. The second season of Grace and Frankie went on Netflix in May, so I don't know if you've watched it already, but if you haven't, it's about these two women in their 70s who are just completely an odd couple, and their husbands break up and they start dating each other. I'm sure you've heard about this from other people. I'm not the first one to talk about it. But I just really love Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin and their chemistry together, and just showing how no matter at what age you are, you're constantly growing and you're constantly evolving, and you can have different realizations about your life, and at the same time, nothing is guaranteed in life, so you might as well just make the most of it in the present and in the now. I don't know if I'm totally reading too much philosophy into Grace and Frankie, but I am, and I absolutely love it. It's a hilarious show, and I personally feel like I'm an 80-year-old woman inside, so I just relate to these ladies on a very deep level. My musical favorite, which is going to be my last favorite of this Bekka hearts this, one guy, and his name is Shigeto. I'm so sorry if I am butchering the pronunciation of that, but as always, the name is right here. So I was told about Shigeto through a mutual friend who informed me that Shigeto's grandparents also went to the same Japanese incarceration camp that my grandma went to, aka Mabachan. And I actually just went on a pilgrimage to that Japanese incarceration camp, and I wrote a total blog post on it. So check the description down below if you want to know about that experience. But my friend told me that Shigeto also had this connection to the camp, and he was a musician that's on the same label as him. So I went and I listened to it, and I listened to his music when I got back from the trip, and I'm just totally in love. It's all instrumental and electronic, and so it's manipulated using like different synthesizers and different things on the computer probably, and somebody else with more musical knowledge could explain it better, but for me, I would just like to call it electric classical music, because I feel that there's a design to the composition that seems very orchestrated. I don't know if that's the right word, but it seems like it could be played by an orchestra if they had all the right synthesizers and different musical elements. So it's not necessarily like EDM, like it's not electronic dance music by any means. It doesn't have this like really heavy bass, or it's not really fast paced. It's more melodic, and it is very serene. At least the albums that I listen to. I'm gonna insert the album that actually talks about Japanese incarceration. Like if you listen to the songs really closely, they kind of talk about the World War II and the Japanese incarceration camps and concentration camps. So it's really interesting. Like it was really interesting listening to those songs specifically, but I've also listened to his other body of work, and everything just has this like very zen, relaxing, what's the word? It's meditative. That's what I want to say. It's not trance-like, it's meditative, and his just music is so good. So definitely check it out if you just want something that is just gonna put you in a really like focused mindset, and like just reframe your mind to be like really focused. So alright guys, that's all the things that I've heart this week. Oh, and today, because I am posting this right after I edit this, I'll be posting it. I did release a new playlist today. So it doesn't have any Shigeto on it because that's going to be on my next playlist. But if you want to know what I was listening to in all of June and the second part of May, go check it out. It's on my blog. Link it down below. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. I feel like I need to call you guys something different than guys. But, alright peoples, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Second thing that I heart is It's chips. They are a protein snack, and honestly, this isn't even my favorite flavor because my other two favorite flavors I've already eaten. They've already been ingested. It was the salt and pepper and the cinnamon, and they sponsored an event I went to, and I took